environment, health technology. The target is to have 1,000 EU companies exploiting this instrument, and it will start actually even before mid-2016. Second quarter of next year, that will be operational. The gateway activities are mainly about coaching, about mentoring, and it can be about business intelligence, about matchmaking and networking, B2B, explaining the legal and regulatory framework, language, the logistic, and there is quite a lot of work in terms of selecting the proper companies in Europe and matching them with companies in the ASEAN countries. We do not start from scratch. Already last year there was a pilot action which was called the EU Business Avenues Missions, where Singapore was very much the hub for the ASEAN countries, and you can see here a number of missions organized in 2015 and also last year with different countries and on different topics. And this, as I said, will continue and will be extended with the Gateway Action next year. Second example, perhaps to draw your attention to today, is the EU-Asia Coordination Platform. So it's larger than ASEAN, but it includes ASEAN. It was launched this year. The objective is to improve the coordination and cooperation between the different Asia-based EU-funded structure and programs, such as, to give you some examples, the European Vietnamese Business Network, the European Indonesian Business Network. You will actually come back on that one in a few minutes. And to improve the outreach to European businesses in Europe by those EU-funded Asia-based business support initiatives. This platform has two main pillars. The first one is here in the EU, mainly making sure that the clients in Europe know about this action, so there is a need for proactively disseminate information in Europe. And the second pillar is in Asia, and this consists in the EU-funded structure and programs to provide those business support services. Very important, in close cooperation with the actions, with the support provided by the member states of the EU. The idea is for the EU and its member states to work closely together. Synergy, coordination are the key words. In terms of timing, this platform is starting and it will be operational this autumn, in particular via the portal that will be put in place. Let me also highlight that in almost in 9 of the 10 ASEAN countries, we do have European Chamber of Commerce. They are mentioned here, in addition to the EU-ASEAN Business Council. Chris mentioned it this morning. And those European Chamber of Commerce are there to help you, businesses in Europe, SMEs in Europe, to access those markets. In conclusion, just to highlight what are the 3 main aspects for those EU instruments. First one is to make sure that they are fully exploited, known and exploited. That is not always the case. So it means awareness raising, dissemination of information, both in Europe and in the ASEAN. Second is that we do not want to have a collection of EU instruments without connecting them. There is a need for coherence, for consistency and synergies between them. In a nutshell, we need to have a more cohesive approach, and that's the objective, one of the key objectives of the EU economic diplomacy, which was mentioned this morning. And the last one, as I said a few minutes ago, is the combination of the EU and the member states instrument to maximize both their impacts. Thank you for your attention.